these boot camps.
Yep. Yep. That is exactly what we're about to talk about today. Go, this is private. Let me see something. I can't tell if got it. Let me just she said all scams, I tell you. Yeah. Have you ran into any scams lately, Jay?
Um, I mean, if you want to bring up, there's a couple Scrum boot camps that are scammy. There's a couple, the ones that I don't like seeing are you'll get certified as a security plus 45 days and get a job in 30 days. And like, you're not telling the people the true process. Um, Scrum Alliance is if you are going for Scrum Master, Scrum Alliance, that's where I got mine. Was through
From
Scrum Alliance. Someone had brought up, I think Paula said, yeah.
yeah,
Scrum
that
Alliance
may
is a good facility. I always, if anyone goes through Scrum Alliance, catch them when they have deals. Do
okay,
not
yeah,
pay
post
that
that
full
for
price.
post the website or something in the chat
I'll
for
share it in Discord for y'all.
yeah, because I think Shauna's friend wanted to get in the scrum. So that'd be good. Like, and this is what we need, right? We need a community of people who have legitimate resources. You know, what's that one guy who was going around doing the food critics? I forgot his name already.
Oh,
He was
Keith
like,
Lee?
my guy Keith. Yeah.
Oh,
We
I
need
was
one of
gonna say
those
Gordon
people.
Ramsay.
Oh,
Nah,
wow.
no, we need a Keith Lee, right? We need a Keith Lee that can, has the money to drop into these camps and give his honest opinion.
Hey, if I had the money, I'd do it.
I think you
I've
would do
jumped
it.
in a few though. The ones that, like I said, I've jumped into one. It was associated to one of these little Ponzi universities, and it was a 45-day course.
Yeah.
Um, and I was like, I don't like this. This is nothing like. And I guess I have a bias because I've been in this class with you, and of course you're also my battle buddy as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, me and Jay, were we in boot camp together? I think we were
yes,
just
we did
yeah.
basic and
Oh
AIT
yeah.
together.
You were in first squad, I forgot.
Yeah.
Boo, first platoon.
Where was your basic training at? If y'all might
Or
have.
Seal.
Fort Sill?
Yeah.
No kidding. I went to Fort Sill too.
Oh, what
Yeah,
was your
that's right.
MLM?
Huh?
Oh, you said 35 Fox. Yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
same.
They sent me to Fort Sill. What? Oh crap.
Yeah,
Yeah, all the nerds went to Seal or Jackson.
Oh man, I was mad about that too. I wanted to stay in Jackson so bad because that's what my sister and them was. But they sent me to, hey, you're going to Oklahoma. I'm like, what?
It's all
yeah.
right. We all ended up at Huachuca. It's okay.
Oh, Machuca. Oh my Lord, the stories I
Did
could
you get
tell.
attacked by the javelinas? Will,
Uh,
did you get attacked by the javelinas in Huachuca?
nah. I
Javelinas
didn't
and
get
then all the
like
Tennessee
that.
drivers were conspiracy theorists. They thought aliens were behind the mountains.
What?
Yeah.
Man, actually, now I think about it, there was actually someone who actually not like in our platoon, but someone else's platoon where they actually tried running across the border. They
Well,
went
I,
up and
we
yeah.
had a march. We had a rough march across the border.
yeah,
Uh,
Oh, man, they didn't even do that for us.
we had,
because I
it,
remember our group, we actually found paraphernalia in the mountains while we were while we were walking. We
Holy
were
crap.
wrecking. It was hilarious.
Oh, wow. That is crazy.
All right,
Yeah.
y'all. So let's check this out. Let's check this out. Jay kind of introduced it already. This Cyber Thursday. Shout out to everybody on YouTube that's tuning in with us. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for all the subscribers, man. Y'all are definitely helping the O-line community grow. We love it. We love the comments, all the questions y'all are asking. If we ever miss a question, just post it again. It really doesn't matter. I think we got all of them though. We try to answer every single question, right? Today we're just gonna be talking about how to get a remote six-figure job in cybersecurity, right? It There are a lot of, and I want to try to keep this short and sweet, and I would love Jay's insight because she has taken other courses. She's taken this one, so she's going to be very unbiased about it. Some people may think I'm being biased, which I'm really not. I'll tell you when I'm being biased. There are a lot of myths out there, right? And there are a lot of truths. Well, let's start like this. So the title of Cyber Thursday was kind of a clickbait, right? Let me see what's in the comments. Hold on, we got some comments here. She's under the impression that she'll make six figures. Oh, wow. Yeah, we're going to bring that up. Make sure I bring that up, Shauna. Please make sure I bring that up. Please, please, please. So the title of this Cyber Thursday is clickbait, right? This is the first time I did clickbait. It feels kind of weird. I feel kind of phony, right? How to get a remote six-figure job in cybersecurity. That is something that O-line security will never promote, right? How to get a remote six-figure job in cybersecurity. I'll start by saying this. Are there people doing that? Yes, there are. There are people who are getting remote six-figure jobs as their first role. That is the thing. It exists. People are doing that. They're doing that today. They were doing that yesterday. They're going to be doing that tomorrow. Okay. It is a thing. Now, is that something everybody can do? Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. We have to take into consideration what these individuals are coming with to the table. Some of them have military backgrounds that we were talking about. They may be able to do that, especially if they have a clearance, especially if they have a top secret clearance. They may be able to come into the field, get a remote job, first job, six figures, right? They may be able to do that. Congratulations. Everyone can't do that. There are people who don't have military experiences that are doing that. How? I can't speak for everybody. Some people are just skilled enough. They were able to learn the information, dissect the skills, digest the skills, and able to articulate what the employer needed to solve those problems at the time. They did it. Some people lie on their resume. They did it. Everybody should not be lying on their resumes to try to get a remote six-figure job. That is not anything that I would recommend because it can turn out bad for you, especially if they find out you don't know what you're doing, right? It is not a good look to get fired from a job. It doesn't really feel good to leave a job because you feel as if you're going to get fired, which is what a lot of people actually do when they lie on their resume to get these six-figure jobs that are remote, right? If whether or not it's remote, right? The remote is just a clickbait thing. Okay. Now, let me reiterate. There are people who are legitimately getting six-figure roles as their first job. That is not something everybody can do if you have no experience. Most people cannot do that, right? If you do, right? Let's go to the other side. If you do want to get into cybersecurity, you do want to get into IT, the most effective, there's no one way to do it, right? Let's remember that. There's no one way to do it. Toby doesn't have all the answers. Toby does not have all the solutions, all the methods to how people are breaking into cybersecurity and getting six figures at their first job. There are plenty of ways to do it, right? What we have found to be the most effective way to getting into cybersecurity or IT, right? IT, cybersecurity, IT, either or. What we have found to be the most effective way is by taking a class, not a boot camp, right? And I'll say why. We're taking a class, going to school, going to an academy that will literally break down skills, hands-on skills, technical skills that employers need today to solve real-world problems. That's one. Hands-on skills, not just them breaking it down, right? You also being able to digest it, make sense out of it, understand the why. Why are you doing what you're doing? It's easy to know the what. There are plenty of YouTube videos to show you what you're doing, but why are you doing it? How do you do it? Because that's where the articulation comes from. Articulate how you're identifying security gaps. Articulate how you're remediating those security gaps. Articulate how you're going to use Splunk to find certain anomalies. Articulate how you're building out your different Splunk environments, your different application environments, how you're using cloud resources, integrating that with infrastructure as a code. How? You be able to find a school that can break down these skills for you. Two, be able to digest and articulate how, why, and what you're doing. And then three, get a certification, right? Get a certification. Some people knock certifications. Some people don't knock certifications. Certifications are good, right? Because they help you understand and really comprehend industry practices. What are people doing today in the industry? What tools are they using today in this industry? How are they using those tools today in this industry? Why are we using those tools? Why aren't we using the tools that we were using yesterday? Why are we talking about deperimeterization today? Why are we talking about cloud technology today? Why are we integrating on-prem with cloud? Why? Why? We need all of those things make us more it makes the process more effective to getting into cybersecurity or IT. Okay. Now, are there other people breaking into the field who are not doing all those things? Absolutely. Like I said, there's not just one way to do it, right? The people who tell you that there's one way to do it, you don't have to listen to them, right? Sometimes they may be gatekeepers, sometimes they may not be. There are multiple ways to skin this cat. The most effective way where you feel comfortable, you feel confident is by learning the skills, being able to articulate those skills, and getting some type of certifications to prove that you do understand this skill set and why we're using the skill set. Now, some people may be asking, what certification should I go for? It depends on what you want to do. It really depends on what you want to do. If you want to get into IT or cybersecurity, there are a bunch of different certifications, right? One of the most common ones is Security Plus, right? I'm gonna get to that Scrum one in a second. Now, why we want to stay away from boot camps? Because boot camps are fast-paced courses. Boot camps are fast-paced courses. Are they all fast-paced? No. Majority of them are, hence the name boot camp, right? It's not supposed to be long. It's supposed to get you in and out, right? A boot camp is somebody, it's for somebody like me, somebody like Jay, right? We just quickly need to get some skills, quickly need to recertify, get our we ran out of time to get enough credits for whatever certifications we had, and we need to quickly do it to get recertified, right? Maybe just cram a bunch of answers and questions in our head so we can go ahead and pass the certification and call it a day. That's the dynamic, the environment of most boot camps. That's not going to work all the time for people who don't have any skills. It's not going to work all the time for people who are brand new to this language. It's a new language that you're learning. You need somebody to break down this new language for you and take their time doing it. You need extra sessions, multiple sessions, study hall sessions. Even after your boot camp is over, you're still going to have questions. Just because you go through a boot camp, just because you go through a class, just because you go through school, doesn't mean you understand everything. You're still going to have questions. You're still going to have issues. I have issues. I have hurdles. I'm able to get through them because of the experience, but you don't have that experience. So you need a group of people who do, a schoolhouse that does, a schoolhouse that you can come back to and learn from. Now, you should definitely stay away from boot camps that are guaranteeing you six figures, right? That brings me to what Shauna just said in here. You should definitely stay away from boot camps that are guaranteeing you six figures. No one can guarantee you a six-figure salary. They can't guarantee it to you. How can they guarantee it to you? They're not cutting the check, bro. They're not the ones cutting the check. They should, if a boot camp is marketing six figures, as a guarantee, right? They can say that, hey, it's there's a potential, right? Because there is a potential to make the six-figure salary, but guaranteed six figures, and then it's remote, bro. You got to run away. You have to run away. That's that. and we've had a lot of students. This is why I feel obligated to host this Cyber Thursday. We've had a lot of students come to O-line security, and you all have heard it here on Cyber Thursday before. And it sucks that I'm just now having this conversation. You've heard it before from other students who paid $30,000, $6,000, $5,700 to take classes, boot camps that promised them six-figure salaries, and they weren't even confident enough to take their exams after the boot camp, yet alone interview for a six-figure salary job. Those interviews are not easy, right? Jay said the industry average for Scrum is 75K in Dallas. Now, this brings us to Scrum because somebody had brought a question in today about Scrum. Shauna, do you want to bring that up one more time?
Yeah, so basically my friend was saying she is gonna do a Scrum course and it's supposed to be like 1 month long and she should get a job within a month and making like six figures. So I wasn't sure about it. So I wanted to get more information. Like, is that real?
Sign me up too.
And it was
uh,
like $500.
$500. That's it?
Yes.
Oh, sign me up. Well, I'm not Scrum certified. I don't have the Scrum certification. I have been in a lot of Scrum shops, but just so there is no room for biasness, we'll let the Scrum Master Jay answer that for you.
Well, I can't say that it's a terrible, I mean, this class, because it varies. Depending on where you go, it varies. I've had classes like I went through said name that we posted. I'm not gonna call anybody out, but that was 2 8-hour days. So it was 2 full days.
Now, I'm trying to catch up in the chat right now.
Oh, sorry. So yeah,
Now you good. Go ahead. Go ahead.
it was 2 8-hour days. And then at the end you took a test and then you were certified. So then after that, I did a follow-up course, which was the certified product owner, which was in addition, like I said, it's best to try and find these places that have pretty decent deals. But I actually had my job pay for it. So I didn't necessarily spend my coins, but but they did, it was a few $100s there. So the only thing that I don't like about how you said was marketed is the guarantee 30 days you're gonna place yourself into a job. A lot of my peers, a lot of my peers who did that, I've had some who, went impromptu, went and got the certification, and it took them several months. And a lot of it was because they didn't ace their first interview. They landed the interview because their resume sounded good, but nomenclature is very big. You need to know what you're talking about. You need to give examples and STAR method a lot. The STAR method is key. So if you don't know, you can give me a situation, but if you don't know how you resolved it using the proper technical nomenclature, the hiring manager is going to basically size you up and be like, you're not qualified. So you want to make sure if you're trying to finesse it, you have to at least know the nomenclature. I highly recommend taking the time now if you're in the learning phase of doing intern, like do an intern shadowing in your job where they have a Scrum or project manager. They're similar in nature. Scrum Masters are more so the facilitators for the developers, and project managers they facilitate, but they also assist in driving certain tasks to fruition based on phase and things of that nature. And that's just in a general sense. I can go in detail. You can go on Google and Google the actual full definitions of each. But that would be my recommendation. I'm all for trying to be the people. They call Scrum Masters the self-servants of the industry, because you're basically trying to, if you go through like the storming, norming, and forming phases of groups, you're the person trying to be the middleman between that. the man in the middle, which sometimes some people don't want to deal with. But I would just say, do your research, see if your job pays for it. And a lot of times they will, because it's a situation that a lot of companies are in dire need to have that skill set. So just see if your job is willing to pay for it. If you're out of work, there's lots of programs. I mean, heck, O-line has some great opportunities for you guys to, indulge in the security fashion as well. So just do your research. That's all I would say. I won't say I'm for or against it, because I also have my cert. But I would just say beware of, if you do the class, beware of the what do you call it? We guarantee you 100K. I would say the average, even on a contractual standpoint, you're looking at maybe 80,000. And I'm looking at the average for the DFW, because that's where I live in Texas. But they usually are on the higher side unless you're on the East Coast. And usually the East Coast is probably the higher standing Virginias, the Marylands, things in New York, for PMs and scrums. But unless you really know your stuff, or at least you're able to get yourself in the door, and then I know some people talk about imposter syndrome, because sometimes you know your stuff and you're unable to really get in the weeds of things, but you need to be able to articulate and know the nomenclature of the industry. Whether it's whatever industry you're in, it's not always technical being a scrum master, but that's usually where the relationship comes from. So just do some study and do your homework.
Jay brought up some really, really good points. Thanks a lot for that. Before I go into those points, what's up, Maddox? What's going on, Mile? Yes, we are on Zoom right now. We just ended class. Oh, you saw the message. Yeah, we just ended class, so we're streaming through Zoom right now. We haven't done that in a while. But yeah, that's what we're using right now. Somebody said that they talked to a guy who paid $13K for a red team boot camp. Wow. Hopefully he was able to get a job out of that. Now, Jay said a lot of important points, right? Interviews, you got to be able to articulate these things at the interview, right? You got to be able to talk the talk. You got to be able to walk the walk. And interviewers know, right? They've been interviewing for a while. Like our parents used to say, they weren't born yesterday. They've been doing this for a while. They have run into people that just give out BS for a while. This isn't anything new to them. They've run into BS resumes, right? They know what a BS resume looks like. They throw it out the window. It's not new to them. Okay. They know about the guaranteed six-figure salary jobs out there. So they know that people are doing it. They're trying to do it for the money. Most of us are trying to do it for the money. I didn't get into cybersecurity for any other reason but the money. Like, I'll be honest with you right now. I got into cyber for the money. I was broke, bro. I was making $10.50 an hour before I got into cybersecurity. I got into it for the money. I fell in love with the skills that I learned. Fortunately, at the time, they were able to take me through months of courses. I'm talking about months of courses. And that's where I fell in love with the skill sets. I fell in love with what I was doing. I paid people outside of that to help me learn even more. So I eventually fell in love with what I was doing. And like Paula mentioned, the money came, right? Paula mentioned in the chat, more money came after that, after falling in love with the skill sets. That's where the real money is. I know all of us want to get into the field for the money. Most of us want to get into the field for the money. Focus on the skill sets right now, right? But just try to believe me, try to close your eyes and believe me. Focus on the skill sets. The money is going to come. Once you become specialized, once you're really comfortable and confident in what you're doing, the money is going to come, especially if you're hungry. And Jay brought up a very, 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 very good point. Have your jobs pay for these certifications. You don't have to pay for all these. Right? That's why I'm not a big fan on cert stacking and just, oh, I'm going to take this cert, I'm going to pay for this cert, I'm going to pay for that cert, I'm going to pay for that cert, I'm going to throw all these 10, 20 certifications on my resume that I paid for it out of pocket to make my resume look better. What did you learn out of that? What can you articulate out of that? What can you confidently sit down in a room of 5 people and explain to them what you can do out of all those certifications? You only need 1 to 2 certifications. Most people, 1 to 2 certifications to get an entry-level role. And then from there, all those other certifications that you want, those cloud certs that you want, the PMP certs that you want, the Scrum certs that you want, your employers may pay for that, right? You may have to pay out of pocket and they may reimburse you, right? Especially if it's aligned with your job, let them pay for it, right? We have students who are in the class, well, their employers send them, but we have students who are reimbursed by their employers. Let them pay for that, y'all. Right? Focus on one good major cert that you think is going to give you the best advantage. It doesn't have to be Security Plus. Security Plus is just a very, 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 very well-known cert, especially with government agencies, because it's a DoD IAT Level 2 certification. Just focus on one. And after you get that cert, build labs out. Like this isn't for O-line students, right? After you get the cert, or even before you get the cert, you have all the hands-on resources that you need. For O-line students, just keep playing around with these resources. Get more comfortable with it. Be able to articulate it during the study hall session. Be able to break down what you're doing. Be able to tie it into real-world scenarios during study hall or Cyber Thursday, whenever. People outside of O-line, find resources that you can use to build on what you're learning within those certifications. How can you expound or expand those skills that you acquired from those certifications? Don't just take the cert and move on for another cert. There's so much, especially in Security Plus, there's so much information to learn. A lot. You can't master this in a year. You're not going to master Security Plus in a year. Right? It takes time. Now, somebody had asked how, and let me make sure I'm checking the YouTube questions. Somebody had asked how, like they had asked the honest opinion, right? And this is what really brought up this Cyber Thursday session, because I had a conversation over the weekend and somebody was asking your honest opinion of how long it takes to break into IT with no experience. On my honest opinion, and this is going to be biased to my experience and what I've seen and what O-line students are doing. This is not it's not a blanket for everybody. From my experience, 3 to 6, well, it depends, right? If you're an O-line student, about 3 to 6 months on average, right? That's because of what we're learning in the class, the resources you have access to in the class. If you don't have an academy or a school that's giving you those resources or exposing you to those skills, it could take 6 months to a year. And that's not bad. That's not bad at all. People go to school for 4 years to get a job, y'all. They're going to school for 4 years. Some people go to school to 2 years to get a job. 6 months to a year is not bad. 2 years is not bad, depending on your situation and circumstances. But all things included, it's not that bad. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Yeah, the cliche, because it is. Take your time so that when you get to those interviews, because Jay said they're going to be tough. When you get to those interviews, you're comfortable. They're not just interviewing you, you're interviewing them. Some of the interviews may not be asking accurate questions. They may not be asking effective questions, but if you don't know what's going on, you're just going to go with the flow. If you know what's going on, you're going to politely rephrase the question for them. And those are bonus points, right? You're going to politely rephrase the question for them and then give them a detailed answer plus more. And they should be stopping you like, okay, we got it. That's how you know you had a good interview, right? That's how you know you're comfortable and confident in that interview. Let me see something. No. So the Zoom sessions are only for O-line students, right? We were in class, we host class on Zoom. So we're just streaming from the Zoom class here. Now, if you got questions, feel free to throw them on YouTube. That's fine, but we typically don't allow the world to join us on Zoom. Any questions, y'all? Any questions, class? Let me go through this chat. It's okay. Intern. Yes, internships are great. I know a lot of people don't want to do free work, but I'm telling you, internships are great. Another important thing that we have talked about is networking. Networking is a huge, 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 huge thing. Oh, and please, people watching on YouTube, please do me a favor and just smash that like button for me. I always forget to say that every YouTube session. Hit the like button for me. Please make sure you're subscribed. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Internships are great. A lot of people don't like to do internships because they're not getting paid. I'm not going to tell everybody to go do internships. You have bills to pay, you have kids to feed, but it's a great opportunity. Networking is another great opportunity. Get on LinkedIn, slide in some DMs. O-line students, look, there's students who are just like you that are working right now. Slide in their DMs on Discord. Hit them up. Introduce yourself. Be polite. Introduce yourself. They're more than willing to help you, right? If they have openings at their jobs, hey, that's an easy alley-oop for them to give you, right? And they may get a referral bonus for that. So yeah, they're more than willing to help you. Paula said, develop hands-on skill. Absolutely. Subject matter expert equals practitioner. Yes, 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 yes. The industry average for Scrum is 75K in Dallas. Who's certifying her Scrum? Her, I don't know. She didn't say. I'm just reading the chat out loud, right? It's like reading text messages in your head. 2 days, $9.95. Whoa. Yeah, find it cheaper. There are a lot of Scrum courses. There are a lot of free resources online, y'all. Even for Security Plus, there are a lot of free resources online. There are a lot of free, cheap resources on Udemy. However, everybody can't grasp these skills. Everybody can't articulate and digest these skills with free resources. Some people like me, I need a teacher. And I'm not afraid to get a teacher. I pay tutors all the time, right? When it came to Python, I paid a tutor. When it came to hacking, when I first started hacking like 7, 8 years ago, I paid somebody. I need somebody either virtually or in front of me talking to me, right? Slowing it down. I need to ask them questions. They need to be able to effectively answer my questions. And you all know, I have to draw this stuff out. It's hard for me to draw anything out if I'm just staring at a video all day. It's hard. Shauna has her hand raised. What's up, Shauna?
I'm
Shauna's the only person that I know that raises her hand in Zoom, y'all. Yeah.
probably because I work. I'm so used to. I'm sorry, but the question where the person was asking about how long, um, what I was thinking they probably were was asking how long would it take for you to get the whole concept of the field, then job. I could be wrong.
I mean, even if they weren't, right? That's a question, and it's a great question. Okay. How long does it take to grasp the skills? I think that's what you're asking.
Yes.
That is that's a journey, right? That's a journey. I can't say a month. I can't say 2 months. I can't say 3 months. To grasp everything, I can't say a year. That's a journey. To be comfortable, right? Some people 6 months, some people 3 months. It depends on how, Jay said it right there. It depends on you. What do I usually say with class? Spend an hour every day outside of class to get more comfortable with these skills, with the topics, right? If not the skills, the topics. Everybody's not doing that, right? We know that. Everybody's not doing that. Some people are not as hungry. Some people are not as determined. Some people are not as disciplined to do that, right? If you are setting aside an hour to 2 hour a day, yeah, you're going to be more comfortable than others within 3 months, right? Even more comfortable if you're doing 3 hours a day, 4 hours a day. Obviously, it depends on your schedule, but that's why Jay said it depends on you, right? And it depends on the topic. It depends on the skills. Some of these things are going to be complicated, right? If you're trying to get into coding, coding isn't the most complicated thing, but it depends on the teacher. It depends on the instructor. Security, right? Let's use security, for example. If with Let's use the resources we have in class and all the topics and the concepts and the tools that we have in class, right? Security gaps, firewalls, proxies, all these tools. To get comfortable, I want to say, including class time, 3 to 6 months to be comfortable. To be comfortable where you can articulate what you're doing. That's around the same time that people are getting jobs. right? To be comfortable with what you're doing. Now, after a year, you're going to be even more comfortable. When you have grasped everything, everything is a lot, right? There is a lot out here, y'all, right? I don't even want to go through the list. There's a lot. But the short answer, it depends on you. How can you expedite that process? How can you make it make more sense quicker? How can you digest it even swifter? You just got to put in more time, right? It's like anything else, right? Jay brought up sports earlier, right? You got to dribble before you shoot, right? But you got to actually be shooting in the gym, right? You got to put those extra hours in the gym. You got to be the one that's up late at night. You got to be the one that's up early. You do that, right? The process gets expedited a lot quicker. Colleen said, hey, thanks for that question, Shauna. Colleen said, how did you find the tutor? Oh, man. There was this app that I had, and it was an app just full of tutors. And I ended up finding this one Python guy. He was dope, man. He was really, really dope. I think he charged me about $60 an hour. And I just used him for like 6 months straight. Well, I think I lied. It was about 3 to 4 months just straight. I already knew Python, right? But I there was something missing, right? There was something missing, and it was really just an instructor breaking down the modules and how to use the other modules. I don't want to go into like jargon with people who don't know what I'm talking about, but there was the app. I got to find the name of the app. LinkedIn is well, there's a lot of imposters everywhere, right? Just let me know what you need a tutor for, and I can reach out to my friends, my community, and see who's tutoring. But there was an app. I'm gonna find the name of that app. Um, but even try LinkedIn, right? You can vet people. If you find somebody on LinkedIn and you want to make sure that they're valid, just send it over to me and I can vet them as well, right? I'll slide in their DMs and ask them questions that they have to answer. If you really want that tutor. Let me see something. All right. Any other questions, y'all? Oh, job shadowing. Yes, job shadowing, right? If you're working at a job, some of you are already working in government agencies, even if it's not a government agency, if they have an IT team, if they have a networking team, if they have a security team, volunteer some time to just shadow them. Most employers don't say no, right? You may have to volunteer extra time outside of your 8 hours now, but most employers don't say no to that. They're more than willing to let you pivot within the organization. Right? I think most employers would actually appreciate that. All right, any other questions, y'all? All right, sweet, 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 sweet. All right, moral of the story, y'all. Stay away from boot camp. Stay away from people, individuals that are promising you something that is too good to be true. You can get that 6 figure. Will it be the first job? No. Will it be the second job? Probably not. Will it be the third? Maybe not. Who knows? Some people get it the first, some people get it the second. But one thing I can guarantee you, it comes with work. And instead of being focused on the 6 figures, be focused on the skills, right? The skills are going to start knocking over those dominoes for you that lead you to that goal, right? The skills are right here. The 6 figures right here. Go for the skills. You're just going to fly past the 6 figure. Well, I take that back, right? I'm starting to sound like these bootcamp people. Focus on the skill, all right? That's the moral of the story. Yes, Jay said it's skills over 6 figures. And just vet everything. Ask as many questions as you can before you take somebody's course, somebody's program, whatever that may be, especially if it's over $5,000. Sheesh. If it ain't coming with a college degree, vet it, question it. Other than that, y'all, hey, YouTube, shout out to y'all. Shout out to the likes. Man, I really appreciate it. The community appreciates it. If you all are looking for an academy to actually learn the skills over the money, to digest the skills, to be comfortable with the skills for your interviews, go to olinesecurity.com. Register for our next security fundamentals class. All we focus on is the skills, okay? You will have a lot of homework, by the way. So if you don't like homework, this may not be the class for you, all right? So everybody else, good night. Class, I'm about to send you the homework for tonight. And I'll see you all on Saturday for Study Hall 12:15. And Tandra, if you're watching this, please be on the Study Hall session this Saturday so we can talk about your interview. All right. And shout out to all the O-line students that accepted offer letters this week. Y'all are amazing. I'm happy for you, proud of you. All of y'all that had interviews this week as well. I got my fingers crossed. And I'll see y'all on Saturday. Peace.